What's going on, people? Welcome to the Offside Chat podcast. It's your boy Naber. I'm joined in the podcast studio by one and only Naeem. What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
I'm very well, brother. It's good to have Premier League football back, isn't it?
And Edward. What's going on, Edward? You know what I
I'm all
mean?
right, my man. How's everyone doing?
Not too bad, bro. The thing is putting me off now, your top. So it's either up or that. It's like in the mid. Yeah, what's going on, man? What's
It's how I keep it, man.
you usually all the way?
All
Yeah,
the way up.
yeah. Yeah,
Nah,
that's
man.
better. Nah, that's better. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I'm good. Listen, guys, let's just get straight into it because look, week after week for over a year, the rest, if you're not a Manchester United supporter, we're going in on Amorim every week. New records left, right, and center being broken. But look, let's hand it. We have to give our props to Manchester United. We have to because this show and Ed knows we've been doing a long time, same as Naeem. We've been criticized in the past for, going at United. But listen, that's a statement win there. To go to not many teams go to Anfield and win, let alone a bad Manchester United team who are in the doldrums. You know what I mean? It's gone from bad to worse there. But Amorim, he stood up. A lot of question marks actually before the game. The lineup came up, no striker. So they were having, Cunha, Imbuemo, and Mason Mount. Oh my God, he's gone negative. This is a disgrace. Listen, they started off very, very well. And I have to big him up on this because when a manager gets it right, you have to be fair. When a manager gets it right, he gets his team selection right and he gets a result by hook or by crook at Anfield. You have to give it praise because what I'm seeing is this agenda going on how bad Liverpool were. And I think it's unfair. It's probably the first time in life I'm probably going to defend Manchester United because it's unfair. When Arsenal go away to the Bernabeu and they beat them 3-1, Saka's game of his life, Rice. We talk about nobody was saying, "Oh, Real Madrid is just poor, they're poor," and that's what we're going to concentrate on. No, you don't. You're the away team. You've gone there and you've got a victory. End of. He deserves his praise, and he always faces. Listen, one thing about Amorim: win, lose or draw, mostly losses. He faces the media, man. Doesn't go hiding. He just tells it as it is. This is how I'm doing things. Now, look, next week it could go left. Who knows? But this is a huge statement win. I'll let you guys talk about how you felt United played. It wasn't a pretty game, but you got to get the win. United don't win at Anfield, but you had to get the win. I know there was a bit of controversy. Should they have stopped the game? I think that was Van Dijk that elbowed McAllister. So to be fair, it is what it is. I think good finish from Mbeumo. But the flanks again. I mean, we'll talk about Liverpool after, but he was getting a lot of joy down there. You know what I mean? In Bremo the first half, Ahmad as well. He's giving Kirk his nightmares. But look, they hit the post twice. Gakpo was on fire yesterday, unfortunately. Any other day, he probably would have had a hat-trick. But that's just the way it goes. But I just think at the end of the day, give Manchester United their credit. They changed it up. Sesko come on second half. Dorgu came on. He looked much more comfortable on that left because that was the weak spot for me. I don't know what was going on, man. He had to be cutting into his right. But yeah, good performance. Naeem, Manchester United, man. Winners at Anfield.
Yeah, credit. I mean, I can't remember the last time Liverpool lost at home in the league.
Crystal Palace.
Was it? Yeah, was it Palace?
Your team.
Bless it. No, I mean I think United's first win in 9 years. Was it 9 years that And I mean, full credit to them. I think they started well. I think having Cunha and Mbeumo up top, they both run. They know, they're Premier League ready. They look a different team. I think Cunha's been injured a bit, hasn't he? And he played back-to-back games for Brazil. And I mean, for me, he was Man United's best player. Him and Mbeumo, those two at the top, they caused so many problems. Full credit to them. I've enjoyed laughing at Man United plenty of times, but you've got to give them the credit to go win there. Bit of luck. I'll discuss that. But I thought Mbeumo and Diallo, especially on the right hand side, that Kirkes didn't know what to do, did he? He was who's he to mark, and it just exposed Van Dijk a lot. Van Dijk doesn't like to come out from the centre, and he looked, and Mbeumo had both of them on toast. To be fair, he's hit the ground running for United. But with Cunha, it gives them that dual threat. And I thought Mason Mount wasn't great, but I thought he had a better performance than he normally does for United. I did think they rode their luck. I think he made a great point. Hakpo should have had a hat trick. That sitter he missed as well, right at the end as well.
You know what? So that's 4, really.
4.
Yeah.
Salah missed an absolute sitter as well, and I think that's the only thing he did in the game. And we'll discuss Liverpool a bit further on. But yeah, full credit to Amorim. He set up his team. They look like, I think there's a lot of talk about them, and I've mentioned it. Has he lost the dressing room a bit? The way they were celebrating and the way, they're celebrating the goals. I think there's some camaraderie there. And, I'll give them their full credit. I thought Sesko came off the bench and gave him a slightly different dynamic, of course. And, full credit to Man United. And you know what? 2 wins in a row. I think Maguire made a good point about it's a bit embarrassing that, they're talking about that. But full credit, you make your own luck sometimes. And most times Liverpool would have won that game in the end with the chances they had. But, yeah, full credit to Man United. No.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Edward, man, hopefully you said your prayers, because there has to be positives for Manchester United. Especially myself, and this is something that you never really hear much. It's just because you're not really giving us anything to be positive about. It's not the fact that, we just don't like United, but it's nothing to do with that. I just think it's to do with, you have to do journalistic jobs, and if you're not playing well, just have to be fair. But listen, Amorim was moving very bossy after that post-match press conference, he was just like, no, keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. Don't talk to me about tactics. I want to hear it all. Got to big him up for that, man. He's a character.
But he should shut his mouth, because next week you'll be crying again, innit? Do you know what I mean? Typical.
Bro, live for today, man. Live for today.
Now. You've earned your plaudits for this week. But you got Brighton next week, innit? So maybe cool off. See if you can get to 3 wins in a row, man. United, 3 wins in a row. This is how, like, what they become. This is the club that they become, like they're celebrating 2 wins in a row. But like Naeem said, fair play to them. In the first half, I think they were the much better side, especially like every time they broke going forward, they gave Liverpool a lot to think about, and it just really exposed Liverpool's defensive frailties. Like you said, Kirkes, was at 6s and 7s. He was making sure that Van Dijk had probably the worst game of his Liverpool career, in recent memory. He's getting dragged out of position, making sure that mistakes were happening all across the back line. But Kirkes and Van Dijk, it was a Hall of Shame performance, I'd say. You've got Van Dijk doing a bionic elbow on the back of McAllister's head. Just a catalogue of errors, man. Uncharacteristic errors from Van Dijk. Kirkes, obviously, he's going to get grace because he's new to Liverpool. It's his first season at a big club, but it's not been great for him either, And on the opposite flank, Bradley wasn't good either. And I was keeping Frimpong out of the side, but it's the better of 2 evils, to be fair. Like,
it's so funny. We're trying to give Manchester United plaudits, and Ed he cannot stay in this on this field for long. But he's good.
He's just giving Liverpool views.
But okay, I will go back and try and say something nice about United. My bad, guys. My bad. Yeah. Okay, let's start this again. United going forward, especially in the first half.
That's better.
We're very good, man. A lot of sharp movement from Mbeumo. Cunha worked his socks off. Mount was a bit of a risk, but at the end of the day, they won, so it paid off.
I think starting Dalot as well. I don't quite understand if Dorgu was injured or he's carrying a knock.
I don't know if it's a situation.
International, was it? He played 2 games for Norway potentially. I think he played a couple of games. He played 90 minutes. Sometimes it's a fitness thing.
But weirdly, even though I don't think Dalot's that good a defender, I think the reason why he plays Dalot is he reckons he can trust him probably more defensively than Dorgu. Like, Dorgu is a wing back, but he's more of a winger, isn't he? He doesn't really do much of the defending going back. So I think that's why, especially in the big games, he probably tries to play Dalot there, even though the fans hate Dalot. It's so funny when I'm speaking to my United pals. Dalot could breathe and they're mentioning him. They do not like him. They do not like Dalot at all. And it's funny to see. But in terms of going forwards in the first half, United could have had 2 or 3 goals. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Every time they moved forward,
Yeah.
it was very dangerous, man. Good goal from Mbeumo. Caught Liverpool lacking. But yeah, they rode their luck at times, like you said, in the second half. Liverpool showed why they're champions. Although they didn't win, they showed that they're a better side. They've got the better players. Gakpo on his day, he could have had 4 or 5. Yeah, great win for United, and more importantly, you've done Arsenal a job, man. You've done Arsenal a favour. So for that, we thank you, man. Do you know what I mean? So United are good in my book for at least 1 more week, innit? Do you know what I mean? You've done Arsenal a favour. You've helped keep Liverpool at bay. So that's what I've got to say, really, man. I don't like giving United too much props, innit? So
yeah, listen, look, we can't be, look, as you know, we're not wired to be giving them too much props. But look, huge. I think, listen, you gamble hard, you deserve, the plaudits. I think he deserves. He got it right. A lot questionable in terms of his starting lineup, but look, it worked, and you got the win. I'm sure it'll be very different against Brighton. If he goes with the same team, maybe he's riding his luck. But look, for me, there's 2 players I need to shout out. In Bremo, of course, but now I don't know if I'm becoming a little bit more tense now watching football, but I don't like players losing possession or doing the wrong thing when they're on the ball now. I think it really irritates me. Maybe because I really wanted that win so bad, and I thought Mbeumo, really good finisher, but I wanted more when he was on the flank, Cruyff turns and stuff. Just come on, man. Sometimes if you can't beat a play, just pass it back and keep it moving, keep it ticking over. Maybe I'm just so used to Arteta's style of possession-based football that if you can't go back, come back and pass it off. One thing I would say, 2 players stand out for me is Ahmad. He's playing as a wing back. Can you imagine if he was further forward? Because Kirkes, it was long for him, because Ahmad is the wing back now. Just his movement yesterday, so sharp, so dangerous.
Sharp.
I think he's just a bit off with the decision making, but if that side of him improves, he's got a great engine on him, technically gifted, not the tallest and biggest of players, but he's got heart. He played so well yesterday, so techie on that right side. So he was impressive. And look, one player that I hardly give credit for, but I'm going to give it credit. This guy's probably, when you talk about mentality, regardless of what you say about him, yeah, his mentality, for me, has to be admired. And that's Harry Maguire. Because I'm sorry, man. This guy has taken flack after flack. Like, it's been horrible since he's been at Manchester United. I know he's picked up a few trophies, but he's no way lived up to the 80 million. It's all the slurs that is put on him. But he does, like, for them in the Europa League, he does stand up, doesn't he? Like,
remember he lost the captaincy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, when he's called upon, and to get the winner at Anfield. Like, I know people say, oh, yeah, but he's still... Look, I'm not saying what he's done in the past and what he's going to do in the future, but I'm saying when he got chosen for that, then, Euro could have been chosen. He said, look, let me go with Maguire, and a very good finish, astute finish. Because if you guys remember this, he missed a sitter.
Last year, innit?
To win the game, right?
And we could have put them to bed, and he missed the sitter. So Harry Maguire, I don't really say it often, but do you know what? That is about mentality. Because once you've hit that block on your ability, once you know, okay, I'm never going to be a United legend. That's just how it is. Huge amount of money. But you know what? When I'm called upon, I'm going to do my thing. Same thing for England under Gareth Southgate. Rinse left, right, and centre, not getting into the Manchester United team. But once he's chosen and faith is being put in him, he doesn't hardly put a foot wrong for England. But yeah, big up, Man United fans. They didn't even believe it themselves. So, do you know what I mean? Well done to them. But we need to go on to Liverpool, because I'm not going to get too deep into offside chat, post-production. But look, me and Ed, I said, listen, are Liverpool in a crisis? I called this 2 weeks ago. I was called mad. I was called insane. I was called that it's jumping the gun. This is what I've been told. Oh, calm down, calm down. It's 4 in a row. Is this the first time since in 38 years or something like that? I don't know if I've made up that stat.
It was Trent's brother saying it, but I don't know if that's true. But
I
he was
don't
saying
think
something
it's. I'm going with it. I'm going with it. I'm going with it.
I'm with it too. I'm with
I think
it
it's
too.
2014. I think it's 2014 or something.
If it's not true, let me just go with it. And
Listen,
But let's go with your one. I like your
2014 might as well be 38 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In this day and age. So
we've gone to press now. It's gone out. Don't
Yeah.
worry. In 6 days, I'll apologize on page 37 and say, look, you know what I mean? It was very wrong.
my bad, isn't it? My bad.
But listen, it's looking very stinky. On a few occasions, let me just land because Liverpool fans get upset with me. Look, you're the most successful club in English football. You spent the most money. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you talk about you're the best run club, and you are. And it's very early days. It's only 4 points off the top. But you told us Frimpong's coming. We should be really worried. We've now got Kirkers. We should relax now. Trent, the disrespect when he was going, nah, it's gone. Don't worry, we got Frimpong, we got Conor Bradley. These are our guys. On the flank is some big. Well, sorry, Alisson missing is a big miss for anyone.
He's always
the
injured
best.
though, man. Injury prone goalkeeper, isn't it? Always gets
But you know what? He's the best. Him and
He's the
Raya,
best.
I think.
He's
Him and
the
Raya, I think, are the best in the league. There's no question about that, and he's been the best for many years. But he's missing, so it's a blow. Right back, obviously, you're missing Trent. Now with Trent, people talk about his deficiencies defensively. What he does going forward, the way his distribution, not only creating chances onto that left flank, but also getting Salah into the game. Like his distribution and the way he gives to them going forward was invaluable for years. Now he's gone. Conor Bradley's not going to give you that. And Frimpong ain't going to give you that. The most Frimpong's going to give you is going down the bar line, beating his man and crossing it in. Let's be fair, it's nowhere near. So you've downgraded there. Left back, Kirkes is struggling. And I kind of think maybe they should have started with Robinson and then weaned him in, because at least you could say, right, you've had your chance. Take a look at how we're doing it. He looks like he's drowning. Konate's off form. Yesterday, he weren't too bad. So Van Dijk is now doing a lot of babysitting, and you're right, he's being pulled out into positions. It's very uncomfortable. So they're leaking goals. Let's move to the midfield because you've got new shiny toys in the summer, the newest of shiny toys, and now you're back playing with Woody again. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, this doesn't make sense. You got your Buzz Lightyear. You wanted Buzz Lightyear, Jimmy. That's what you wanted. And now Buzz Lightyear is in the cupboard and you're now playing Woody with his string. Do you know what I mean? Big up Woody
You
from
got
Toy
a friend in me.
Because exactly.
Got a friend in me.
What's going on here? You've now gone back to the midfield. Yeah, you've gone back to Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. I thought they signed a 10 that was going to transform English football. This was the Wonder Boy, German Football Player of the Year, record-breaking transfer fee. Can't make the Man United game, and you've gone back to your old
faithful.
Yeah, it's very strange, very strange. And now look, we move further forward to Alexander Isak. Very early days, top class striker. Nobody's questioning this, but he had a very golden opportunity through on goal. This is what you want as a striker, and he fluffed these lines. Now, if this was Gyökeres, we'll be going on and on about the misses. These guys, there's certain hyenas out there are waiting to talk about the chances against Fulham. But what was I think that one was more clear cut. He misses him and he gets hooked. Back-to-back record signings. This ain't small change. We're talking about 200 and odd £1 million players. One can't get into this team now with your most, it's the biggest fixture for Liverpool is Man United at home. What is going on with Words? We should be careful. 007 a couple of weeks ago. Now we're getting into double figures. Listen, these are real problems. So you got 100 and, how much was Words?
116
million problem you don't know where to put. So you go back to your old midfield player. You've gone back to your ex-wife. The new, you don't know where to put her. You're thinking, no, you know what? I'm going to go back. So you got £113 million problem. You don't know what to do. Are you going to play him as the 10 now? Do you have to play him on the left? And then you've got Isak now. Now people are going to say, "Oh, give him time, bro. You're the record signing. You don't get time.
Of all time, he's
You
the
don't
most
get
expensive
time,
player ever.
bro. You don't get time. I'm sorry, you just don't get time. And you knew this league already. Haaland didn't even know this league. He came from this very shaky Bundesliga, and he just hit the ground running. And they were the best team. You are the best team, Liverpool. Now, look, it's early days. It's only four points off the top. So, look, they can get a renaissance. But it's not looking good because you've got to get the fullbacks. You're conceding too many goals. The fullbacks are struggling. Van Dijk is struggling. You don't know what to do with the midfield. You've got a £113 million player on your hands. You don't know what to do with him. Liverpool supporters had all the ideas. They were selling it to me. I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I just don't know anything about football. Maybe I'm not seeing what they're saying. Now I'm asking them the same questions. They're telling me, don't worry. 113. Isak, let's see if he comes good. I'm sure he will. And then you've got Mo Salah, 400k a week. He's going to probably be going to AFCON as well. So it's looking very interesting for Liverpool. I say no more. And I know, obviously, Naeem's friend, Liverpool supporter, is not very a fan of me, but he has to admit, I'm just being fair. I'm just asking the right questions to the biggest club in the world, the most successful club in English football. Edward.
What more can I say, man? You said it all. You said it all. It's just interesting. I didn't even know that my works agenda, if you can call it that, was going to happen so quickly. I remember I was saying this early doors. They all called me mad. They all said, Ed, you're too harsh. You're too this.
You're a disgrace.
You're a disgrace. This is a disgrace. You watch football through a lens of statistics and yada, yada. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, man. Shut up. Just shut your mouths. Shut your dirty mouths. He got dropped for Everton. Yeah? So your local rivals, he got dropped for that game. Fair enough. This one, the big one. 40 league titles between the pair of you. I know United are washed now, but 40 league titles. You both got 20 apiece. It is the biggest game in football. Don't worry about Arsenal United, Arsenal City. This is the biggest game in English football, historically, right? The two most successful clubs in British history. And your new shiny toy, sorry, Nobs, it's 116 million, not 113. 116 million.
Ed, you're nasty, man.
I'm not nasty, man. I'm just, listen.
You could have allowed them that 3 mil.
Nah. Allow what, man? Allow what? Allow nothing. Allow nothing. When Rice was 105, you know, we gave him criticism. Caicedo got criticism. So why should we allow this shit? What, because he's German? No. What, because he's what? No, I'm not allowing nothing, man.
Enzo got criticism. Enzo got criticism big time.
Pogba got criticism. Now, is it fair? No, but those are the breaks, man. Them's the breaks. When you come for that kind of money, yeah. When you cost that kind of money, there's no grace, unfortunately. Is it fair? No, but tough. Tough. We got told everything. Oh yeah, you don't know football. Watch. He's going to be the best creator in the league. All this. And he hasn't lived up to it, man. Now, like we said, it's early days. The league ain't done. The league is done in May 2026. So for Liverpool fans' sakes, you know, we hope and pray that, you know, everything that you told us that he is will come to fruition. But right now, it's... Whew, what is that smell, man? What is that smell? 10 games, 0 goals, 0 assists. What's worrying, though, is not... All players can have droughts. All players need, you know, to acclimatize to a new league, a grace period, a bedding period. They need all that, right? What is worrying, like you said, Nobs, is the manager is dropping him for certain games now. So it's become a problem where he doesn't even trust you in games where he was bought to be a difference maker in. Everton's cool, whatever. But United are at home. You're getting dropped. And you were their record signing up until Isak was bought.
Now,
that
people,
ain't good,
man. And listen, let me just jump with what you're saying, because let's put it into context, because, you know, Liverpool supporters might be thinking, oh, look at them, they're trying to sensationalize things. But if Gyökeres was dropped, people will be like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
and he costs 50 something mil. This is £160 million Rolls Royce of a player here. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is, it's not the same thing here. If you're dropping your second record, British transfer record signing, being dropped, that's a lot. And what are you dropping them for? His head's not in the place, or he's out of form. Why are you? They're not talking about this. And on top of that as well, I'm not going to bring up Gyökeres again because I'm just not going to, or even Sesko as well. But Isak needs to get busy as well. Because you're the world-class striker. It is early days, but if people want to be criticizing other strikers that have never played in the Premier League and you don't want to give them any time and grace, you want them to hit the ground when, I don't care, Gyökeres is supposed to be the finished product already. Well, then Isak, you know the league. So this is like for you, innit? This is, you don't need bedding time. You've actually got the best team. Oh, he needs to. So Isak, who is apparently to Liverpool supporters, the best striker in the world. Not like, I agree with what Pep said when they said, "Oh, they're saying Isak is the best." So what is Haaland? He just goes, "Well, he's above that." Like, what are we doing here? You just made the rod for your own back. What are you doing? He is a top striker, Isak. Did I want him at Arsenal as the number one target? Of course, I think 100%. Many clubs did. But you said this is the best. He's the best. He's the best. And you're seeing what the best does, man. Harry Kane, you're seeing what the best does, man. You're seeing what the best does. Exactly. You're seeing what the best does. You soaked all summer as well.
That's what's killed him.
You got to hit the ground running. And listen, I'm not saying that he won't, because Isak is he's a top player. But we have to be there. We have to, you know what I mean? The scrutiny is hot. And it should be. You know what I mean? You want all the attention, you want all the glamour. So we're looking at the club, everything that you do. We should be, when Jamie Carragher was saying before, Trent going to Real Madrid, we kind of look at Real Madrid as rivals. I laughed. I said, but wait, rivals? What do you mean? These guys have doubled your Champions Leagues. They don't go 2 league titles in 30 years or something ridiculous. Like, what are you talking about, bro? So if you want to be rated that way, Real Madrid, God forbid, can lose 2 games in a row. And it's now, oh my gosh, it's Armageddon.
White flags.
I'm saying, so if you want to be, when you start talking these talks, that's what I always said to United fans before. When you start talking biggest club in the world, I'm treating you like that. And I'm respecting you. I'm saying, if you're the biggest club, that's what I want to see. Big club performances. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's just not working. It is early days. Klopp can turn it through. But something needs to change, Naeem. Because Ed alluded to a few things. Something needs to change. Your top player or your number 7 is being dropped for the big games. You're going back to a midfield 3 that you did last season that kind of got you through. I don't know. I mean, shed some positivity on this for Liverpool. I mean, 400k a week, sorry, Salah. 400k a week. I don't want to say.
Sorry, bro. Is it time? Is it time? You know, I've always said, is it too early? Is it not time for Salah? Is it not time? Is it not time?
I think it's early, bro.
But
listen,
he's smelling.
Smelling. And Ed has waited for this moment for 3 years. He's had an agenda. He's trying to say he hasn't, but Salah shut Ed's mouth. Like, I've never seen Ed's mouth got shut. Like, he slapped up Ed for 2 years. Like, Ed, shut up. Badar. You know what I mean? Don't you open your mouth again. Record's broken. And then Ed's been waiting. Just, I'll get you, man. And now look.
It's a bit early. It's still a bit early for that.
Might be early, but...
It is early. We're joking. Can we not laugh? Joke.
Have you noticed that as soon as certain man sign that big contract, it happened at Arsenal twice. Aubameyang and Ozil, you gave him that money. Next thing you know, injuries and a loss of form. You're giving Salah 400k, and now it's looking like he doesn't like to play football. Like chances that he would have got last year, he buries that. The only chance he got in the game yesterday, skied it wide. I think he scored 1 goal in the league so far. That's unlike Salah. You know, he's usually a fast starter in the league. Something's not right, man. And I know we can. they're gonna say there's a myriad
And I
of
think
things.
that's fair, and I think that's what you're coming with is fair. But Ed, save that. I don't think let's keep that. I know, but but we're not here for that.
Let it marinate. Let it marinate. That's what it is.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say, but nah, man, we're not here for that. Leave that there. We're dealing with what it is. They turned up, no? You turned up for the game, so we're talking about the game. Do you know what I mean? I know where you're going with this.
He's missing. Yeah, he's missing.
I'm with you.
But let it marinate. Bit more seasoning, and then maybe in a couple of weeks we'll see with Salah. I think he is missing Trent. You know, I think there's some stats about most of the outballs to him is either Van Dijk or Trent. I'll try and put a positive. Liverpool, I think the one thing that was clear that they could have Hackpo put these chances away, they would have won the game. We wouldn't be maybe having this in that aspect. So, and you know, it's a thin line in that aspect. I think one of the big points you both made, which was really clear, was that midfield they started with is the same midfield from last season, and with all these additional new toys, as you put it. The only one that's really impressed me the most is Nketiah. I think he came off the bench.
Is he impressed you, Naeem?
I think so. I think out of all, considering why is it? Yeah, I think he has. I've always.
What's impressed you about him? What's impressed you about him? His goals in the league, or how many he scored?
I think he's a bit more of a threat, considering we talk about these. I know Gyökeres isn't a topic, but we can discuss that as well today if we need to.
That's fine, but I'm just saying Gyökeres is on 3 goals, so is Nketiah.
It is. But it's also about the all-round game. Let's as well. We can discuss. But let's talk about Liverpool. Yeah, I think it doesn't look great. I think defensively, they have looked better with an old Robinson at left back and a Trent who can't defend, because that we discuss about defensively how poor they've been. I think one thing it's clear, if Gravenberch doesn't have a great game, they haven't got that screening midfield player that they were looking. They obviously tried to get Zubimendi last year. They've spent all their money on attacking talent. I've been relatively polite when it's come to Wirtz, but I mean, there's a word I was told. I think it's feline hype rest Heezer, which is basically a posh word for being shook. He looks scared. He looks like, I think, there's sometimes the price weighs down on the player.
And listen, he's a young.
He's still there, and it's still 10 games in, but it does look like he does look a bit scared. Now, let's be fair. We were talking about a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about Robert Pires. I think offline a bit, and he took about 6 months. I remember for him to get completely going.
It wasn't that bad though, bro.
Yeah, maybe recency bias, but I think we've got to give him a bit of time. But for him not to start against Man United, I think he made a great point. It's your biggest rivals against a team. This isn't a Man United from Fergie time. They're not great. So if you're going to go against a team who defensively aren't the greatest, haven't got the midfield's a bit porous, play Wirtz in that game. This is a game where you'll get his confidence back. But for him to start again on the bench, we'll see. This will be the shake-up Liverpool potentially need in terms of maybe changing the shape a bit. I don't know, but
I think you're right on that night. I think you're right in terms of, yes, this could be the shake-up. Let's see what happens. But no, let me revisit though, Naeem. I'm not gonna let you
go on.
Because we seem to be doing this a lot. That what we like to do is but Robert Pires didn't take that. Robert Pires was in the British transfer record. Now, people come up and use this excuse. Not you, Naeem, of course, my good friend, but other people use the excuse, well, he didn't make the price tag. Fine. Let a board tell their supporters, listen, see that team over there, they're going to spend 300 million this transfer window, but we're only going to spend 50 million. See what supporters will say. Oh, what? What? Nah, we need more money. Why do you need more money? Why, supporters? Why do you need more money? Because that's who gets the best players. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to start comparing apples and pears. Once you're a British transfer record, I'm not here. You don't get the time that my guy got. Did you want to
I get that point. No, but I get the money, and I don't hate to say that the money doesn't make a difference. You still got to think as a player, big change, moving to Liverpool, you got to give him if in 6 months' time, right? If we're here coming into the end of the year and he still continues doing this, I'll join your lot's train. I'll be, conductor and everything. But he's, you know, there's obviously something about him as a player, right? There's not really everyone was the players, the teams that were linked to him.
Oh, listen, he's
But
he's a.
I think it's I think it's a bit. I think it's big club, big pressure on it, and some players don't. You know, I don't stinky. I think, but some players can't live up to that expectation.
And look, listen, it happens.
I'll give you an example. Mario Götze, right? Remember when he went to Bayern Munich? He went. You know, he wasn't the same. Sometimes the flashing lights aren't the best thing for you.
Sometimes it's too bright. Like, you're right.
That's why, yeah. It could be, but you know,
listen, it is. And look, we can give him 6 months. Like you're saying, okay, let's see what he does in 6 months. But then we're having Gyökeres conversations. Why don't we give him 6 months? Look, this year in my old age, I'm getting to the place where I can see people very clearly now. Like there's agendas all over the place, and we live by agendas. If you're giving this guy 6 months, let's give him 6 months. Oh no, it's different.
You know what's funny about giving him 6 months though? It could be too late. By the time, you know, you're giving the 6 months that he needs, they could be out of the title race, just washed. So he needs to perform now because you're bought for that. You're bought to be integral to, you know, Liverpool retaining the title, and right now you're not doing it. Like it's worrying if you're getting dropped for certain games. It's cool if you're getting rested because you know you've got a massive league tie in the Champions League, whatever. But tough. Like Walter Mada, obviously I know it's Newcastle. He played in the qualifiers for the World Cup.
Scored the weekend.
And he scored at the weekend.
Good goal.
Brilliant goal. Obviously, I know it's different levels, but there's no excuse. At the end of the day, he should have started for Liverpool against United in the biggest game of the season for them so far. And yeah, that's twice now. So Everton and United. What's really going on? What is Slot seeing that we don't see? Like what are the deficiencies in this game, or what is not working for him to be dropped? Because again, this was your record signing until you bought Isak. To be getting dropped twice in the first 10 games, I don't know, man.
Was he signed by Slot? Was he signed by the club? Because you know they got.
I think the club signed the players, and the manager he has his input. I don't think he's going to the board saying I need X, Y, Z. I think it might be a bit of a partnership. But even if that's the case, tough, isn't it? Like, tough. This is the position you're in as a head coach or manager. You know, they've got a board or like a committee that deal with the transfers. You wasn't complaining last year. Obviously, I know you didn't buy anybody, but, you know, you won the league at a canter. So, you know, deal with it now, man. I have no sympathy for Slot if he's going to cry and say, I didn't sign the players. Tough.
It is interesting though, because I said this a couple of years ago, where when Ange, and we'll move on to Ange in a minute, but when Ange came to Spurs and everybody was being wild and everyone was like, oh my God, I like him. There's something about him. I really like him. I like the way that he's no nonsense. And I said, yeah, listen, look, let's just wait. This is where you can tell a manager is when he starts losing, and you can see what sort of guy he is and the real colours come out. Because I've been there. When life is going good, at the end of the day, everything's coming in, you're winning, everything's great. You're just laughing and giggling and having jokes, making bad jokes at post-match, like, oh my God, he's a genius, he's doing that. When they start losing and they start getting some real difficult questions, that's when you kind of see what this manager is really about. And I think this season we're going to see what Slot is really about. I think he did a good job last season. There's no question about that. But I always like to look at people's second season. I remember Vieira's first season at Palace. We thought this was the dawn of something new. The second season, I always think is very, very difficult. You know, Arteta came in first season, halfway through the season, he won the FA Cup, so everybody was kind of on a high. And then that second season was horrible because, you know, people figure you out. You're not running on honeymoon period anymore. And Slot, that is probably one of the greatest honeymoon periods of all time, because you came in. Obviously, Klopp had built that team, just couldn't get over the line, and you just came on and just were dark horses, and you just kept doing your things and just stormed the league. Now, obviously, this season, that expectation is on you. You know, it's a bit different, man. He's coming from the Dutch league, huge job. to win the Prem in the first season is, listen, it's amazing, and I can never be taken away from him. But I think we need to take a look at him, and I'm really taking a look at him now, especially with these problems that he's got, because he came in with professionals there. You know exactly what's going on. You're thinking, oh my God, I've got Robertson, I've got Van Dijk, Latte already, Trent's there already. You guys have won the league already, 4 years before. You're quite a tight-knit squad. Let me just change one or two things. Couldn't get your DM, couldn't get Zubimendi, couldn't get Lavia, couldn't get Casado. Let me just put Gravenberch. He was a traveller at best, Bayern Munich, Ajax. You didn't really know what he was. He said, no, you're going to play DM. And they just did their thing. And Salah was just penalty after penalty, scoring clutch moments. It was a perfect cocktail. And he smashed it, and we give him credit for. But what I wanted people is just to calm down a bit. Let's really see what this guy's about. When you're up against it, when things ain't really going your way, injuries coming, you're in, you've lost 4 in a row. This is where we want to see what he was about. And what he did is he dropped the star man. When people are under pressure, it's a bit different, isn't it? It's not the same. He dropped his boy. 116 mil dropped. Nah, I just don't trust you in this game. I don't trust the star boy in this game. I have to go back to what I know. It's very, very telling. But let's see. Look, the next games. Look, they've got Frankfurt in the Champions League, and then they're away at Brentford. Going to be a tough game. I think they've got too much for Brentford, though.
Yeah.
Then they're Crystal Palace in the Cup, and then they're at home to Villa, Real Madrid, and then November 9th, which is very, very soon coming up, they're away at Man City. And this is the game, November 9th, that I'm looking for. Because there's a lot of people telling me to watch out for Manchester City. This is what they're saying. Watch out, Manchester City. Watch out. Do you know what I mean? And I think, listen, Haaland's looking good. I think they're one injury away. Phenomenal. He's cemented. He's the best in the league. And I think he's put to bed any nonsense that Isak was close, is just put to bed. He's the best striker. One of the best strikers we've ever had in this country. End of. And he's moving mad. But again, that will be the game. Slot. Man City now. Do you know what I mean? The lights are bright. Man City, what are you saying for your title aspirations? Because apparently you're moving quite. So I'm really looking forward to November the 9th, man. Definitely. But look, Liverpool supporters, let us know how you feel. Because you've been very quiet this weekend. The quietest I've ever heard you. And you shouldn't be. Don't break now. No need. It's very early. Only 4 points off. Do you know what I mean? So don't break now. Right. We are going to lightly talk about the other Premier League results. Obviously, Arsenal Football Club was away at Fulham. Fulham, I think, lost back-to-back games. Arsenal turned up their last 2 seasons. They've lost and they've drawn. So it's been another sticky ground, just like St. James's Park. And it seems like Arsenal put it right. It wasn't pretty.
Nah, at all.
But they did dominate. And they dominated with, I think, nearly 66%
60% possession.
So that's it. But yeah, Ed, please, what did you think of the game?
Tough watch, very boring. But yeah, we got the 3 points, got the job done. It was a professional job, despite our I won't say attacking deficiencies, but it wasn't the most fluid or fluent game attacking wise. But yeah, man, not much to say really. Like you said, we have been going to Craven Cottage last 2 years, and we've been dropping points. So to come out of there, they didn't even get a shot on target, a shot on goal. So our defense bailed us out again, and our attack, stuttering. And yeah, Trossard, the much maligned attacker, seems to always pop up with crucial goals. So I'm sure he's got his worth in the crucial goal department. So it was yeah, not much else I can say, man. Pretty boring game, but we'll take that all day long, man. If Arsenal can continue winning games and it's no frills, who's going to complain? I'm certainly not going to complain. As much as I want us to be more fluid, because we were raised on Wenger for 20 years, attacking potency and all that kind of stuff, combinations and beautiful attacking football, champagne football. But the most important thing is you win. And that's what we seem to be doing right now, man. We've come out of the fire. We had a rough start, league fixture wise. Going to Anfield away and United away in the first 3-4 games of the season. St. James Park as well. So to come out of that, pretty much intact, and to now have our relatively easier period of fixtures, and I'm happy, man. I can't complain. Gyökeres should have scored, really, and I know the knives are out for him.
Which one? Which one?
Yeah, that one-on-one. The one-on-one he hit straight at the keeper. I reckon he should have scored that.
Oh, in the second half.
The second half, yeah, in the second half.
Okay.
Then he had another one where he blazed it over the bar. So people are gunning for him, and rightly so. He hasn't been great. I'm in his camp still, because you're not going to tell me about Havertz and Jesus. I'm sorry. So yeah, continue doing what you need to do. The goals will come, I'm sure. So yeah, professional job.
What were your thoughts, man? Thanks, Ed, bro.
No, I think Ed made all valid and points, and yeah, I think it looked like a game straight after international break as well.
Yeah, facts.
It looked a bit lethargic. Another corner, another goal.
You've got a cheek. I said lethargic. You've got a cheek with your old career on the pitch.
Listen, I was smart. I knew where the ball. You played
very.
Exactly, Mr. Offside himself. Yeah, I bent my run. No, none of that. No, I was impressed. No. Look, I think you got to go. Fulham played pretty well. I think I got to go. No, they huffed and puffed. I think Arsenal defensively were too good for them. I thought, yeah, it wasn't the prettiest, but 3 points is 3 points away from home. At Fulham, I think the international, but they did look lethargic. I think bigger game, and a big game obviously coming up. Is it tomorrow? So that's what the focus is on. So yeah, no 3 points, and obviously a big weekend with with Liverpool dropping points. So if Arsenal dropped points, they would have looked and thought, this is what happened last season, didn't it? When Liverpool dropped, Arsenal dropped. This is good win for Arsenal, and long may it continue.
Yeah. I think you boys are right. Listen, look, it wasn't pretty. Dominated possession again. This is what Arteta does. Look, at the end of the day, Arteta gets his critics, and I understand why. But this is a situation where he has built his team that we are going to control possession. We're going to control the game, and at the end of the day, it's going to be very difficult for you to score against us. And that's exactly what they did. I think Fulham, I knew it. Look, it's Fulham all over. They'll against other teams, they lost. Anytime Arsenal's in town, this is another team that just rises. I knew they would rise. I thought, here we go. But remember, they were the home team, and they were on 30% possession. I would be horrified if, I know different levels here, but I'd be horrified if Arsenal now get 37% at home. You would think they're going to really.
What's the other thing? No shots on target, was it?
Well, this is back now. Look, it's back-to-back games that no team has had a shot on target. This is insane stats here. What we're doing. This is the sort of machine that he has built here at Arsenal Football Club. I thought moving forward, I think the two that looked really good. I thought Gabriel looked very shaky. I thought Timber was doing all of the hard things good, and the easy things just passing it off, struggling. But look, it's international break. I thought Eza had his worst game in an Arsenal shirt. I'm with him. Listen, we're so happy. Everybody's happy that he's here. At Palace, you can get away with these things, these sort of games. When the lights are bright and you've got a big game. This is look, and then there's certain games you can go miss. And at Arsenal, we're watching you all the time, so he didn't look very good at all. I thought Gyökeres again. I think you could tell there's a slight little lack of confidence. However, Havertz, Marino, very easy to defend against. I think Alan Shearer made a fair point. Very easy to defend because they don't go on that. They don't go up. You know what I mean? They don't make the runs.
They don't run out of the way.
They're always coming short. So
Yeah.
it's very easy. Gyökeres, he does. You know what I mean? A lot of spaces on him, a lot of plays are on him. I mean, it's quite simple to even see how he's working for the attack, because people talk about his touch and stuff. Okay, look, he's not perfect. However, there's so many runs in behind. And what I love is the fact that Saka and Trossard, which he was horrible, but Trossard and Saka are now 1-on-1 with their defenders now. Saka must be thinking, hold on a second, is it
Sorry,
me?
yes.
I smell?
Another day.
Yeah, am I smelling? What? You lot used to crowd me. I used to have to take 3 off of you. There's no 3. It's 1-on-1 now. Because now defenders are like, this so-called lump, we can't give him space. Watch Gyökeres now, they're on him. And because he's making those runs and the forwards run. So look, it's working. When it was Havertz, I had to understand the game better. I had to see more than goals. I had to see his hold-up play. I had to see what he does for the team and how tirelessly he works. Now I'm not allowed to do that. So you've converted me, Arsenal supporters.
You can't do that though, Nobs, man, because remember, Gyökeres is bought to score goals, man. So yeah.
Nobody's saying, listen.
Yeah. It's about scoring goals. No. It's about scoring goals, bro.
Yeah.
It's about scoring goals.
Guys, that's up to you if that's what you want to do. And he is about scoring goals, and he will score goals. Look, you've heard me before. He should have got a penalty against Newcastle. He made that penalty. That would have been 4. He's the penalty taker. Saka took it from him. Okay, it's his 200th penalty. 200th. 100th. Was it 200th game?
200th game for Arsenal.
So he would have been on 5. And it is, listen, he will be judged on goals. And rightfully so. You see, with Gyökeres, I'm not even that. Like a lot of players or a lot of Arsenal supporters, actually, they're panicked. They're going on like we spent 180 mil on this guy. This is a 50-something million pound striker. Look, again, if it doesn't work out,
he goes, isn't it?
It goes. There's no risk there in that respect. But unless you risk
risky, man.
You just mentioned the goals he's made. There were penalties. You're discussing penalties for Gyökeres. For me,
why not? Okay,
no. But we're talking about, for me, and I'll be honest about it. We don't want to bring it up.
That's Freddie, Naeem. Now it's penalties. So when Salah is scoring penalties left, right,
we're not talking about Salah. We're talking about Gyökeres. We're talking about Gyökeres. Ed made a great point. He's here to score goals, and mainly against some of these officially smaller clubs, which we struggle to score against, right? Which Havertz weren't cutting against. I'm still not seeing it with Gyökeres. Great, he runs the line. Look, credit to him, but I'd rather go to Offside for that because he does exactly the same thing, but only better. So to win now, he's got to start delivering, and I think.
But they're top of the league now, though. By
at the moment, yes. At the moment, yeah. But let's see because
you want him to be top of the league, but yeah. Okay.
Let's see. I think there's a bit of rose-tinted glasses with him with some fans. I've never been his biggest fan, and I'm open about it, as we know. I'm fine here. Yeah, just I've given him credit, but I still don't. I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. If you're I don't think he's good enough. For women, the best clubs in Europe, you look at the top strikers, he's not in that echelon, and he's nowhere near it for me. But maybe I'm proven wrong, and I'll write a note on here. But that's my personal view on it. I think
there's nothing. Listen, I'm with you in terms of look. Every Arsenal supporter. Well, it's very interesting with Arsenal supporters because I'm not going to let them off the hook because I'm not going to talk too long because we're going to go talk about Ange. It's very funny that when we had Aubameyang, these guys and he is one of the best finishers we've ever had at the club. His attitude and that all of a sudden he was not just a good striker. I don't like his attitude. I think we should get rid of him. He thinks he's bigger than the club. Now we have somebody. I don't think he's one of the world's best strikers. We had one of the world's best strikers, and people wanted him out of the club because he was misbehaving himself and he wasn't doing this and he wasn't running. Do you remember the criticisms for Aubameyang? He's not running. He's not pressing. He's not doing this. And I was like, but he's a goal scorer. No. It doesn't fit Arteta's system. This is what you said, Naeem. You said, I didn't want Gyökeres because he doesn't fit his system. So what system has Arteta ever had where the striker is prolific? Which one is it? You want a goal scorer?
That's why he never won anything. Right? So he's bought a guy to go score goals. He hasn't scored any goals. He scored 3 goals, 2 in one game. He scored 1 goal, poor defending. Let's be real. A penalty and a tap-in.
So that's it. You just say this is why he's not won anything. I'll tell.
Goals, isn't it?
If I speak, thank you. Thank you.
No more pointing at Naeem. That's it.
Look, at the end of the day,
thank you, my brother. I needed.
I think, look, I'm the most diplomatic one here. Shout out to Cameron, right? But
it's true.
There's something. I think I can't see it. I think.
But what's so interesting is that he hasn't won anything, And the most hope you guys have had for winning the league is Gyökeres playing up front. But cool. No, that's the most interesting thing. Remember who's playing up front.
Yeah, well, I will say, look, I'm hoping I'm wrong. I hope he bangs in 20 goals, and
I hope he doesn't and still wins the Premier League. That's what I hope.
What we're not going to do though is we're not going to sit here and revise history on that Havertz and Jesus.
No,
that's
they
what
are doing
Arsenal fans are stressing me out about. Is you lot are trying to act like Havertz is RVP and Gabriel Jesus is R9 and all these mythical top strikers that we've seen in world football, and they're not that good, guys. They're not that good. So I don't want to over-index certain players because Gyökeres wasn't the guy you wanted because Arteta didn't like him. Just relax, innit? He's here now. Support him because I've seen you champion and support players giving you rubbish for years. So now that Gyökeres is here, be nice.
Exactly. And just on the other segment, Naeem was very happy talking about Wirtz 6 months and even using the great Robert Pires to defend Wirtz. But Gyökeres, you seem very definite.
I've never been the biggest fan. Day one. Wirtz, I thought as talent. I've seen bits of it, but Gyökeres, I've never seen anything that.
Gyökeres got a Ballon d'Or, though.
I've said it from last season, even from day. I don't see it, and I think
you like what Wirtz was doing in Germany, but this guy scored 102 goals or 97.
I saw him in the Champions. I saw him play against Arsenal in the Champions. He didn't look the greatest. Against City, he scored penalties, right? So we've got to spade a spade. I think we got a bit roasted in the Arsenal because he plays for Arsenal now at the moment. But let's see. Let's do down the line. I'm still
the glasses about Wirtz though, or you said to give him 6 months.
No, I still think give Gyökeres 6 months, but I'm sure Gyökeres won't. No, I'm that sure. 6 months. I'm that sure he won't cut it for Arsenal. I'm saying it. And let's be fair, I've been right about plenty of players before, right? And
how many goals is he going to get?
Who have you been right about?
We just Szoboszlai.
Enzo Fernandez.
Let's not forget who. Let's not discuss the Cesc Fabregas from back in the days. I can go back in the day and name them. To be fair, but
that's fine. But all I'm just being fair. You're saying that Gyökeres, you're very passionate and you're listening. He's not this, that. But you want to give Wirtz 6 months.
I think Wirtz will settle down.
I'm at peace with it. Look, at the end of the day, it's just like some people like different players more than others. That's just the way it is. Look, we've all got agendas, and that's fair enough. But my striker, no. And listen, honestly, Lime, I do the same thing. People might be saying the same thing to me now. Hold on a second. You're trying to say
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll put my hands up. But
listen, it's
very
fine.
sure about this one.
We can be wrong, but look, Arsenal are currently sitting at top of the Premier League. If they're not, and they're chasing Liverpool and they're 7 points off, and you guys scoring hat tricks, that's fair enough. Me, I want the team to win. I'm not going to get any extra stuff if Gyökeres scores 30 goals. He's £56 million striker. We needed a striker at the end of the day. We wasn't going to pay for Isak. So for me, do you know what I mean? Like, I wanted Ollie Watkins. Now, who's better, Naeem? I wanted Ollie Watkins. You man told me no. So the thing is, it's all it's all relative. But look, Gyökeres, he's playing. He's under pressure. Obviously, he hasn't scored in a few games. I'm going to do what I do with all Arsenal supporters. While they're top of the league, I will give them all the support they need. You know what I mean? That's all we can do.
I'm not going to champion 13 goals and finish in second. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
I don't do that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's cold. Really? Nah.
But anyway, look, we are gonna go move on. I didn't really want to talk about it because I knew it's just mad. But I actually like it. I actually like it.
We're gonna move on
to Ange. Now, I think Naeem, this was one of your. Did you like who liked Ange out of you two? It's one of you. I remember on the radio show. Listen, it's your time to come clean. One of you was saying, "No, I like him, you know. No, you know what? I like him, you know."
I was ambivalent. I didn't really care, to be fair.
You know what? If it wasn't, I might have said that I liked how he come across, mate. He comes across quite like a chill that guy, and he came across when they were winning. Right, he did have a bit of a, and to be fair, you did call out and says, "Wait till it goes wrong." Right?
Nobbs was first on this.
Nobbs was first, but even you didn't think it would go that spectacularly wrong, right? It just like he won a trophy, right?
You knew it was going to be that bad,
bro. Remember from
After winning the first 10 games, for them to crash them, but
I didn't listen. Once you come from Celtic, I knew. You see, the level is very different, guys. It's not the same, man. When Martin O'Neill when it stopped? Martin O'Neill. That's when it stopped. Because after Lennon came over and he stank. And Lennon was the last Celtic manager that was just winning consistently. Brendan Rodgers is different because he was here first. Bro, the level for me, you're not going to get away. I saw Gerrard come. I thought, I said, don't worry about what's going on. Attacking football and stuff, like you think you're going to get away with this here. It's a different level. And I'm not saying that. And big up Ange, man. But look, because he won a trophy with them. But his style, 22 league defeats.
Yeah.
That's what surprised
me. And you go and sack your manager. You listen to Edu. And you allow this to happen.
Big mistake.
And you go and, like Nuno. Yeah. This guy got you flirting with Champions League qualification. Are you hearing? So for me, it's one of them situations. You're the boss of this football club. You come in and say, listen, Naeem, you're the chief executive or whatever your role is.
But I'm the owner.
Coach. You lot better just hash this out. I'm not actually interested in this rubbish. Sort it out. You went onto the pitch publicly and tried to dress him down. I remember when saying this is not right. People telling me, oh, it's his club, you can do that. No, it's not right, man. It's not right. You're pulling out Morgan Gibbs White, just staring him down, making him apologize and stuff. Maybe you should come out and apologize to Nuno that you made a mistake, because now you're in a relegation. I mean, it's early days, but you're down there now. And now you're getting Sean Dyche. So you've gone from a conservative manager with Nuno, and that's what he was. Keep you on the counter-attack, make you difficult to beat. That was the formula. And you now, for some reason, you get into Europe, you got your new chief executive, the shiny new toy. And now all of a sudden you want to start going for a manager that is completely different. He's not conservative, plays the high line. He's lost 22 games last season. Who gets hired by finishing fourth bottom? I know he won the Europa League, but use context.
You know the funny thing about it as well, if you look at it, he's hardly played any of the new signings, right?
Chris Wood is on the bench, bro.
Not even that, but if you look at like Hutch, they spent a lot of money on that.
Was he injured? I think he had a knock. He had a knock.
Yeah. Again, when he made the squad, McAtee didn't make the squad. I've hardly seen the new players playing. So he's stuck with players that play really well for Nuno and try to implement his new, his style, isn't it? Let's be fair, right? And that makes no sense whatsoever. Them getting Dyche might be a good thing because he plays off the counter-attack a bit more, isn't it? I think I saw some stats in terms of the way he sets teams up. It's not far off.
He does, yeah.
And they've got weapons.
I think he'll be all right for them as well.
McAtee's good going forward. Hudson-Odoi is a decent winger. Just Wood scored 20 goals last season.
Even that, because Sean Dyche, he had, what's his name, O'Neill, and what's the other guy? The Harrison. That was his outlets. Now that's an upgrade. Now you got Hudson-Odoi, like you got some pace there now. Yeah. You got Chris Wood. Wood.
They've got a good squad.
Burnley as well. They played together. He played for him at Burnley.
And he's at Nottingham. I think he lives in Nottingham. I think he's in Nottingham originally. I think he's a Nottingham.
Sean Dyche from Nottingham.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm sure I read somewhere that like it'll go down with well because he knows the club. I think one thing Nuno had is he did a lot in the community. So I think he built that rapport with Nottingham Forest as well.
What a waste of Nuno. You just think, what a waste. Yeah. He just wasted everyone's time. You wanted Morgan Gibbs White to be committed, but you weren't committed to your manager. No. You wanted him to be committed. He can't go to Spurs. No. You're not doing that to us. You're not going to do that to the fans. You're not going to bail on this project. But I'm going to sack the manager. Why didn't you show the same loyalty that you wanted him to show? You should have shown to your manager.
If I'm Gibbs White, I'm thinking, what have I done? I know obviously it was a bit murky with the so-called release clause that no one knew about and yada, yada, yada. But that's football. These things are murky. Football's a murky business. But if I'm Gibbs White, I'm thinking, how long have I got here? Because the owner's not, he's not a regular owner. Like you said, he walks onto the pitch, moves to Nuno on a pitch. I understand he was saying, it's because you owe a duty of care for Awani and stuff like that, whatever. But you've
What was the
openly.
reason? What was so, bro?
I think he was worried about Awani, and I think that was
Did he
the
get into
reason.
the post?
Remember last year, like
Oh,
Awani's
is that what it was?
That's
That
what it
was
was.
what he said it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said it was, right? So whatever. Like it looked bad anyway. It looked bad because that should have been done behind the scenes. There's cameras everywhere, and it's a nationally televised game. So even though you own the club and you have a right to do what you want,
International, bro. He says a national. I'm international.
Yeah, internationally, yeah, of course,
Yeah,
you're right. Like, yeah, you don't do that to your manager. A manager that's, like you said, took you from where you were to almost getting Champions League and then back into Europe as well.
Points deductions, bro. Points.
Exactly. Navigated the points deduction, got you into Europe, almost Champions League, and yeah, it's bad. So if I'm Gibbs White, I'm thinking there's a bit of chaos. It needs to be like a settling in period where there's just nothing going on. And it's right now, it's like, okay, Nuno's gone. You sacked Ange after 39 days. You're hiring Sean Dyche. Like, we don't want to be that kind of club where every manager gets 2 months, 3 months, bang, 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 bang. But then on the flip side, I understand Marinakis made a mistake. He made a mistake sacking Nuno. He made a mistake hiring Ange, so he's rectified it. Hopefully, Sean Dyche can, at least steady the ship and get them to, 10th and above, respectable.
He'll definitely steady the ship. No two ways about that, I think.
Yeah.
What next for Ange, though, Naeem?
I mean, I heard he got 7 million for 39 days' work. I see him driving out of the Bentley truck, so I think I would relax a bit. I think there's a level, isn't it? There's a level. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to Celtic. The noise coming out from there, from the news was, the international break about the current manager there.
After Rodgers?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back there. I think you made a good point. There's a certain level, isn't it? I think that he excels at, and he's been found out at 2 Premier League clubs. I mean, you can always say he's won the Europa League for Spurs, and he's always got that to down on, and he called it in his second season. If he was there all season, but you don't know what he would have done with Forest next year. In hindsight, so he's got something. Does he go back? Does he go boss in Greece? Does he take some time off? Does he get national off? I don't know what he does.
Why in Greece, bro? What's he's Australian, man.
He was Greek born, He's Greek born. That's where the link with the Marinakis bit is. But he was Greek born. He was back in Greece.
No, I'm not checking with you. I'm just checking, bro.
I know my background, that sort of thing. He was out there. I think when he was living out there. I think he was out there in Hollywood.
I'm just checking, bro. I just want to make sure we're
right. It's right. I can fish as well. That's that.
I just want to make sure.
It was. You knew he was getting sacked when Marinakis dipped for half time, innit? It just showed his big seat empty.
It was so bait, man.
It was so bait.
In the back, you knew. You knew that Ange wasn't making it out.
Calling that lawyer, says, "Open that, write him that check."
At that moment, I'm not gonna lie. Look, he's gonna walk away with 7 mil. That's bad. Because we look at it sometimes with managers and we feel sorry for them, but you think 7 mil sacking, like the average man will just be happily. But I'll be doing moonwalks off the pitch, clapping at everybody, kissing everyone. So, bro, we just lost. I know, but I love you guys. You don't know much. I love you guys. But you know what? He was tapping the players and stuff, and yeah, he's had to face it up. I thought after, obviously, with Spurs, the season he had 22 league defeats. There was so much times that Ange was just staring into space, and you're just thinking, you're hearing all the jibes, and you're thinking, yeah, this is not nice to have to listen to this and stuff. And obviously, with Spurs winning the Europa League, a little bit of respite, and then you get sacked. And then you move to a new club. In my mind, I was thinking, Ange, relax for at least a year, bro. Just dine off this Europa League wing because
go somewhere else. Go somewhere else and do it. Don't come back to the Premier League. Go.
Yeah, people will forget about it. But he's just secured another 7 mil. But then you come back to Nottingham Forest a bit early, I think, have a break, and then you're back again, staring into space, clapping players who they just keep losing. They're just losing, man. And look, players are selfish. After a while, it's all about them, isn't it? Like these players are interested. Like they love you when you're picking them, and you're making their dreams come true. But once you start losing games and stuff, and they're not running for you anymore, and it's just not working, or their head goes down, or they're whispering in training, and then the new manager comes in, and you're watching on TV, and they've won 3 games out of 6, and you're thinking, "I was in a second." It's betrayal. Ask Man United managers, man, about players. They'll tell you it's dark, you know.
8 in a minute. Done sacked 8 in a
That's what
row.
I'm trying to say. It's dark, Ed, when you're trying your best with these people. Look what Ten Hag did, man. He sent, Sancho
to the mountains, in it, to go find
So
himself.
I'm gonna say, like, he was there in the mountains with Daniel LaRusso, just in the water mountains, Ryu and Ken just under the waterfall, dragon punching, just becoming one again, just to
get
Just to
extorted.
end up,
honestly.
end up in Chelsea doing madness.
Yeah,
Just to end up in London paying for,
Oh, no, wait.
Allegedly,
man. But listen, man. Listen, we've had a blast today. So look, please subscribe, share, man. We've had a blast, and we will see you. Oh yeah. So before we do go, actually, Edward. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, lean on a prayer. You're hanging by the thread. Nigeria's qualifications for the World.
Oh, well mentioned. Well mentioned. That's.
Listen, it's dark, man. It's dark.
No, thank you for your window. Good made South Africa go through when you banged up Benin. So
it's dark, man. It's dark.
Listen, you can't.
AFCON's coming up, so there'll be a bit more focus on it. Then.
AFCON's coming up. You can't have those Nike kits not at the world stage, man. You know
I mean, we can.
You can't have that sitting at home, bro, all dressed up and nowhere to go.
We don't mind, man. Drip is permanent, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You have fun with your Puma, though.
No one will see it.
To be fair, it will be discounted, though. It will be discounted. To be fair, it will be.
You're just jealous, man, because you have Puma and we have Nike, so it's cool. Go on, you know what? Don't worry about what I'm doing. I buy my kits. Go and buy a Ghana kit, man.
I have got one.
Which you got?
We could wear it for AFCON. When it comes in January, right?
You will never do it, man. Puma, yeah.
I have got one, but listen, yeah, God bless everybody, man. Have a great week. As I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, man. We'll be back in the next episode. Peace.